on your block, and today we're at the Morgan-Wixson Theater in Santa Monica. This is one of my favorite places. All of you know that I like to be on stage, and I am today. I'm with Anne Gesling. Anne, I understand you've been on the board of the Morgan-Wixson Theater for 31 years, and you founded their youth program. Tell me about the Morgan-Wixson. This is a 201-seat theater?
Yes, it is, and it's the building's been in existence since '64, and the organization has been around since 1946.
1946?
1946, which makes us 71 years old.
This is a wonderful theater, which everyone leaving Santa Monica passes every afternoon. Do you get a lot of them to stop and come see your plays?
Not as much as we'd like. We'd always like more people in the audience. Actually, it's you said it, it's a hidden gem. We have people in the neighborhood that have lived here for 20 years and still don't know we're here. And we're trying to change that right now.
And this is third largest theater in Santa Monica. Barnum Hall, the Broad, and then here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've been here, now we need people to come and find us.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you do plays here?
We do plays, we do musicals, we do youth theater. We have all kinds of volunteer opportunities.
Tell me about the youth theater. Tell me what you're doing with the Bay Area's youth here at Morgan-Wixson.
We have had a youth program for 22 years. During the last 12 years, we've had the Youth Education Entertainment Series, which we call YES. And though we do 4 shows a year that are all based on books, they're reading list books from Santa Monica Unified School District. So we're trying to promote literacy as well as training children in theater, as well as training the new audience to go see theater.
So give me an example of one of the books that you've made into theater here.
A Wrinkle in Time, Junie B. Jones, Flat Stanley, Honk.
And you were able to give me more than one. I like that. So now do students, are there classes for students in acting?
No, we're not doing classes. We're basically training in the course of a show. So it's twofold. Yes, we're putting up a show because we're trying to promote the literacy and get kids into theater, but we're also trying to train the kids in theater, proper conduct. We're working with kids that are really serious about theater. They rehearse 5 to 6 days a week for 2.5 hours a day, so it's a huge time commitment.
And who directs these shows, and are people volunteers who come in and help?
We are all volunteer. Everybody was a volunteer. We have a few stipends for directors, but for the most part, we're all volunteer. Open auditions, completely open for every show. Ages 8 to 18 for our youth program.
Okay. And how many children and teens are in your youth program at any one time?
Each show ranges between 11 and 43 kids.
Wow. So you're really you're making sure that there are a lot of kids involved and a lot of kids get to perform.
Yes, it's not a paid program. It's not a pay for play once a week type of thing. Since they're here because they want to be here, and we want to give every kid we can an opportunity. But sometimes the real world is you can't always get in the show, and that's part of what we're teaching.
Wait a minute. Not everyone gets a certificate?
No certificates. They get the applause. They get the learning experience. And we've got a couple kids on Broadway right now, so it seems to work.
Well, that's fantastic. Are most of your kids from Santa Monica or the Westside area?
Most are from Santa Monica and Westside. We have kids that come all the way from Upland, from the South Bay area, from in the valleys, because we're pretty much the only ones in LA that are doing what we do.
And this is, a 201-seat theater. Mm-hmm. That really, I mentioned that before, but it's very unusual on the West Side when property values are so high. To find a theater that looks as good as this, with as deep a stage as this, in Santa Monica, that should be packed every week.
A lot of times we are packed. Right now we're running Seussical as our main stage adult, but it has a lot of kids.
This is Seussical the Musical?
Seussical the Musical, yeah.
And it's interesting because I'm president-elect of the Kiwanis Club, and we provide a Seussical day through the Kiwanis Club, through the Santa Monica Public Library, every March, and every child who comes gets Dr. Seuss books. the whole thing. So Seussical the Musical is up my alley.
I love the show.
So is there a place for me to perform tonight?
Right there in the front row.
I don't see the spotlight right there, but
We can arrange one.
a small flashlight.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Is there a crossover between the youth and the adult programs? Do some of those youth, as they grow, do they get to go on to the adult stage?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We have a number of, in fact, I think we have 12 of the kids in our main stage show right now, not just playing kids' parts. A lot of times they start into the ensemble, but we've had kids that are 16 that have played leads and beaten out 25-year-olds.
There are actors I know that have done more than one show here at the Morgan-Wixson Theater. Are they encouraged to come back, and do they want to come back and do show after show, year after year here at this theater? Does this become an actor's home?
It absolutely is an actor's home. We have people that come back all the time. No guarantee that they're going to actually get into every show because it's open auditions. But we've had one guy, Stephen Weber, who has been in almost every summer musical since 1999. Most of the people in the show right now, Seussical, have been on the stage before, but we are always looking for new talent. It's not closed off. We try to create a family here. It's always a family atmosphere.
And this is a theater that, again, is so close to everyone in the city. Can people buy season tickets?
You can buy season tickets, individual tickets, flex passes, which are really big right now because you're not locked into seeing every show of the season. And you can call the box office at 310-828-7519, or you can buy them on our website, www.morgan-wixson.org.
Do you do a gala? How do you raise money for the theater besides ticket sales?
Raising money is tough because aside from our youth program, a lot of the grants right now want to fund not conventional theater, not the type of theater, the Neil Simons and the musicals that we do.
You do Americana to an extent. You do real just theater that everyone can relate to. You're not an experimental theater. You're doing mainstream work for children and adults. And there isn't a lot of that on the West Side. And especially these days with traffic, you mentioned a Flex Pass. I was hoping the Flex Pass also included a Metro ticket because it's so hard on Pico Boulevard with traffic, so hard in Santa Monica a lot of times with traffic. Yes. So maybe this is a choice that more Santa Monicans should use when it's so difficult to get to downtown Los Angeles, when it's so difficult to get to other areas of the city, even the Geffen, places like that. So after Seussical, what comes up in September at the Morgan-Wixson?
In September, we are doing Title of Show on the main stage, and immediately followed by our annual youth musical, and we are doing A Winter's Tale, A Dickens of a Christmas Carol, which is written by a friend of mine. It's an original musical that we've performed here 6 times. Actually, it's our annual youth musical, but it happens to be a Christmas show this year.
This is a fine theater.
It's very good theater. We do high quality work. We pride ourselves in that. We're a community theater. We've always been a community theater, and we're darn proud of it. But that doesn't mean that we don't try to do the most professional show we can every time.
I've taken over Seussical. The stage is set. We'll be on stage at 8 o'clock tonight, unless they find out I'm not supposed to be on stage. For Brock and Your Block, I'm Phil Brock. We'll see you next time.
Oh my God.
20 minutes.
I mean, but that's how it's done these days, yeah? Yeah, well, you know what, I'm the craziest. She's space up here too, like a rehearsal, there's like a rehearsal.
And it's the center.